Black people have been poor for a long time, and a lot of them live to please white people because white people have resources. And so we sit in Rosebank and Sandton and all of these false non-racial restaurants to please white people because they have resources. So when people intimidate someone like me or other advocates, what they're doing is to tap into the anxieties of black people for survival. So it's not just physical. I'll tell you now that when the white structure doesn't like you, you can starve. And no one wants to starve, unless you are me. So in a way, if I tell you that in the past 4 years, apart from government that took work from me, all the big law firms that used to brief me never briefed me. So you have to deal with that. And in order to survive that, you must understand that, and it's not easy because young people who are advocates, they want to pay rent. And so they'll capitulate and all of this because no one wants to live in misery. But I live by the fact that I think you better starving in dignity than eating in shame, where you don't lose yourself. And I think the white system doesn't like that. And that is why our leaders are servants of whiteness. It's because they depend on whiteness to survive, to finance their lavish lifestyles. And so even at the level of advocates and engineers and others, for a young black person who's always lived in misery and poverty, it takes great courage or foolishness to defy white power. And so these intimidation tactics are actually an extension of a broad agenda of white power and classes that are powerful to whip us into line. And you will see this even in private lives. Generally, non-racialism is a great thing, but you will achieve it if we are equal. But in these white-black relations that you see, you are only a friend if you live the way your white colleague likes. The day you differ with them, no, because you are inferior. You are a childlike being that must be whipped into line. If you don't, you can't be a friend if you have a mind of your own. And I think that's the life of a black person, generally in the township, in the farm, in the rural areas, in professions, at the workplace, in parliament, and everywhere. And it permeates up. And I think the current political system we have and the leadership we have currently, I think is the best meal for white power. Because in it, they have black leaders that white power likes. A subservient, smiling, black person who can tolerate the suffering of others. That's what they are. And that is why that's the tragedy of post-apartheid South Africa, in my view. And I like to always say in the profession